Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Zach Lee, and welcome to day 26 of the 2017-2018 NBA season. And let's get right into all the action that went down yesterday in the world of basketball. But first, a quick message from this video sponsor, SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the app that is a must-have for NBA fans who enjoy or want to go see games live. They let you see the view from the seat before you purchase, as well as rank the seats on a scale from 1 to 100 to make sure that you are getting the absolute best deal. Speaking of best deal, you can enter the promo code SDC to receive $20 off your first order to make it an even better deal. Download the app in the description box below. Now with that out the way though, Lego. What he couldn't do last time, he for sure did this time. Back in the second game that he's ever played in the NBA, Lonzo Ball went up against Bledsoe and the Phoenix Suns. Had that game where he looked phenomenal, was like 1 rebound or 1 assist shy of a triple-double, which would have made him the youngest player in the NBA history to ever record a triple-double. He missed out that time, but he wasn't going to miss out this time. Not sure exactly what Lonzo has against Bledsoe, but he has had 2 really good games so far in his career, and both of them have come against Bledsoe. Last night, Lonzo Ball did become the youngest player in NBA history to record a triple-double with 19 points, 13 assists, and 11 rebounds, but it didn't even stop there. Even though his shot hasn't really been there this year, his defense has actually been surprisingly good. He's got great timing, which leads him to racking up steals and blocks as well. He had 3 steals and 4 blocks last night. And like I said, he is now the youngest player to ever have a triple-double, beating out LeBron James by a whole 4 days, but it just wasn't good enough.
I really don't care. I mean, we took a loss, so it don't really mean nothing. I mean, no, it don't matter to me, to be honest. I just wanted to win tonight. I thought we put ourselves in a good position to get it, but didn't happen. My confidence is going to stay the same all year. I mean, I've been shooting all life, so I'm not going to stop now.
I know Lonzo would have liked to come away with the win, but he has to know that it felt really good to finally see that ball go through the net. Lonzo Ball is not going to be a bust. I don't know why he can't shoot like he did last night more consistently, but that's literally all that's missing is a consistent jump shot. Outside of that, he's been having a pretty good rookie season so far, and it's not like his shot will never fall. It's just a matter of when he will be able to get it to fall consistently, and when that happens, he will be the all-around player that we all thought he was coming into the draft. Cavs fans, you can rest easy. You guys won. I know there were a lot of people kind of holding their breath, waiting to see if the Cavs would once again lose to one of the the worst team in the NBA, and if they did, chaos would have erupted. But like I said, y'all can rest easy. You won thanks to Kevin Love playing like Kevin Love again. 29 points and 15 rebounds. If Cleveland could get this version of Kevin Love more consistently, they would be so much more dangerous. People forget that Love once had MVP potential a few years ago, and it ain't like he old or had a bunch of terrible injuries. They just haven't been using him the right way most of the time. But what also helped the Cavs get the win was Kyle Korver scoring all 13 of his points in the 4th quarter, as well as LeBron coming up huge in the clutch as well. And once again, the Cavs are going to be fine. They got off to a rockier start than they usually do, but they will get it together eventually. 111 to 104. Was the final score, and this was also the first time that LeBron James got to go up against Dennis Smith Jr. Now, if it weren't for Ben Simmons running away with Rookie of the Year award so far, even though his team isn't capable of winning, Dennis Smith Jr. would be one of the frontrunners to win Rookie of the Year. He's been a bit inconsistent with his shot, especially from deep, but that's the same thing with most rookies, and it is also kind of scary watching him explode to the rim like he does, because we have seen players before that played similarly to him and had their careers ruined by playing that way. Fingers crossed that it doesn't happen here. But all that aside, DSJ is averaging 15 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds per game. Pretty solid numbers. And it caught the attention of LeBron after the game yesterday, as he went on to say that he believes that Dennis Smith Jr. should have been a Knick and is going to be a really good player.
Dennis called you a mentor, and what did you see from Dennis Smith tonight?
The Knicks passed on a really good one, and Dallas got the diamond in the rough. He should be a Knick. He's gonna make some headlines, but he should be a Knick. But Dallas is definitely, I know they're excited that he didn't go there. So he's an unbelievable talent, athleticism. He's very poised to be his age. Can shoot the ball, can penetrate. He's gonna only get better and better with the opportunity that he's given here to play. You know, so Dallas got a good one.
LeBron said what a bunch of people were already thinking. I know I, for one, on draft day, really thought Dennis Smith Jr. was going to end up as a Knick. He just seems like a player that the Knicks would love to have. Plus, it would have been kind of dope to see him running the pick and roll with Kristaps Porzingis. But we all know that New York decided to take Frank Ntilikina instead. Now, Frank Ntilikina isn't necessarily a bad player. He's more of a long-term project instead of Dennis Smith Jr., who will look better right now. You know, that Frank kid has already shown signs that he will one day become something special in the NBA. So it's hard to say whether or not the New York Knicks messed up by not taking Dennis Smith Jr. right now, because we can't judge how good the players will be like 5 years from now. But I still did expect them to take him, I'm not gonna lie about that. I don't know what to tell you guys. I said it, don't get too comfortable just because your favorite team is hanging in the game with the Warriors at halftime. And even though I've been saying it, I fell into that trap myself last night. Now the Sixers aren't my favorite team, not even close, but I was enjoying this game in the first half, tightly contested, thought it would go down to the wire. Then the second half started and I remembered my own advice, not to get comfortable. The key right now to beating the Golden State Warriors is just survive the third quarter. Hope and pray that they don't come out of the halftime break hitting every shot they put up, because this is getting ridiculous. The Warriors are on a 6-game winning streak right now after beating Philly 135-114 last night. KD and Embiid got into it a bit with the trash talking in this game. You could tell Embiid was just frustrated. You could see it all over his face. He had one of the worst games, maybe the worst game of his career last night, which sucks for him because he was doing a lot of trash talking before the game, saying how he was going to destroy Draymond Green. Like I was saying though, during this whole 6-game winning streak, it just seems like the Warriors win all of their games by jumping on teams to start the third period. Maybe they have a secret stash of MJ's secret stuff they drink at halftime or something. Curry, KD, and Thompson each had over 20 points while Green did the dirty work with 5 blocks. But yeah, survive the third quarter and maybe you will have a chance of beating the Golden State Warriors. That's the only advice I have right now. The only watchable thing about the Chicago Bulls left the game early with a sprained ankle last night. Lauri Markkanen rolled his ankle and did not return, so Bulls fans really now have no reason to watch for the next few games until he comes back, and you should have stopped watching this one after the first quarter last night. The Spurs never gave Chicago a chance, destroying them 133-94. Nothing else needs to be said. Jimmy Butler vowed that he would start scoring and taking over more with the Wolves like he was doing back in Chicago yesterday before this game started. And he did come out looking more aggressive. Instead of being passive and trying to let Wiggins and Towns carry the offense, Butler was in attack mode. Couldn't get a shot to fall, but did get to the free throw line 16 times to finish with 25 points. Now, I do think this is good for the Wolves. Butler is at his best when he plays like this. I can understand him not wanting to just come in and be the guy, take away the reins from the younger guys, but at the end of the day, you're still Jimmy Butler. You just gotta do whatever you gotta do to get your team to win. If you scoring a bunch was good enough to get that Bulls team to 40 wins the past couple of years, then it can do wonders for Minnesota. But they still lost last night to the Phoenix Suns. 118-110 was the final score, with Devin Booker and TJ Warren both erupting for 35 points apiece. Booker was doing other things as well, like grabbing 9 rebounds and dishing out 6 dimes. Players get hot, and when that happens, anything can happen. Booker and Warren were both on fire last night, and Phoenix got the nice W. Remember last year when George Hill was killing it for the Jazz when he wasn't out with like a sprained ankle or a loose tooth? Everyone's like, oh, we never knew he was this good in Indiana. Indiana was using him wrong and all this other stuff. The dude has been straight garbo this year for Sacramento. That's completely unrelated to the topic, but anyways though, the Kings lost this one 118-91 to the New York Knicks, who I'm starting to think have a serious chance to make the playoffs in the East this year. Imagine if both the Knicks and the Magic make the playoffs. That doesn't even sound right. Porzingis though is one heck of a player already. You just can't stop him on the offensive end. He had another 30-point game last night, dropping 34, while Courtney Lee added 20 of his own. Speaking of the Magic though, this was a game that you want to forget if you're a Magic fan, as they got manhandled by the streaking Denver Nuggets last night. Jamal Murray, I just need you to be a bit more consistent. I don't know how many times I said you had a breakout game, but you don't play as well the next game. He's going to be a great scorer in the NBA, just needs to be more consistent. 32 points for him, and Will Barton chipped in 26 in the absence of Gary Harris, and Nikola Jokic had a near triple-double of 12 points, 17 rebounds, and 9 assists. 125 to 107 was the final score. The score made it seem closer than it was, and the Nuggets have now won their past 5 out of 6 games. James Harden is finally starting to come alive. He had been good all season, but now he just seems like he's starting to look more like the MVP-worthy James Harden that we saw last year, as he notched his 3rd straight 30-point game. 38 points and 8 assists to get the Rockets the 111-96 win over Memphis. Eric Gordon also added 26 for Houston, while Tyreke Evans continues to make a strong case for 6th man of the year, scoring 22 off the bench for the Grizzlies. I have bagged on the Pelicans this year for being underwhelming. I've never said they were flat out bad. It's just they have Cousins and Anthony Davis, but no one else. And that upsets me because Cousins and AD look like a duo that could win rings with the right players around them. I mean, the New Orleans Pelicans management signed Josh Smith like a week ago. Freaking Josh Smith. There is a reason that he was playing in whatever country for who knows what team, because no one in the NBA wants him. They did waive him a couple of days ago, so that's good at least. But when a team has to sign Josh Smith, you know they are desperate. And the Pelicans might be desperate, but not as desperate as the Clippers are for a win right now, though, as LA has just lost once again, 111 to 103. Look, Blake Griffin is really good, but alone he is no match for Cousins and AD. Those two guys combined for 60 points, 25 rebounds, and 10 assists. Pelicans might scrape by and make the playoffs in the West, and that could be interesting depending on who they play. Playoff Rondo, if he is healthy, plus Boogie and Davis could cause serious problems for whoever they go up against. The sky is still blue, grass still green, the Wizards beat the Hawks, and Lala still tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios. Yeah, everything is still fine in the world of basketball. 113-94 was the final score, as the race between the Hawks, Bulls, Mavs, and Kings for the worst record in the NBA is still as close as it's ever been. Why this of all games was broadcasted on NBA TV yesterday, I will never know, but it was. That being said though, even without Rudy Gobert, the Jazz still pulled out the 114-106 win over the Nets. I mean, maybe D'Angelo Russell versus Donovan Mitchell will be worth watching in a few years down the line, but there were better games to play last night. Those two guys did their thing last night though, both scoring 26 points. They're good players. That though wraps up all the action from day 26 of the 2017-2018 NBA season. You guys can go vote for the player of the day by following the link down in the description box below. Just remember that only players whose team won are eligible for player of the day. Yesterday, you guys selected Paul George and his 42 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists as your player of the day. Also, let me know what you thought about Lonzo Ball yesterday and LeBron's comments on Dennis Smith Jr. down in the comment section below. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more daily NBA news and highlights. But until tomorrow, keep getting the buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace.